Hello everyone. So today we are going to implement this hologram material in Unreal Engine. So as you can see here, I have applied some kind of a holographic type material to the mannequin character. So as you can see here, we have some stuff going on here, like these stripes that moves down, and also some noise to make it look more like a hologram. And also, as you can see, there is no inner faces, inner triangles are rendering happening here because they have been culled properly. So usually with holographic type material, sometimes you tend to see insides or the faces that are behind surfaces in the characters. So I have worked on that as well. So yeah, this is what we are going to work on today. And also here in the bottom part of the character has been faded out to make it look more like a hologram. So yeah, let's see how to implement this holographic material today. And this episode is sponsored by Adam Ockler, this generous patron. Thank you very much for your support. And before we get started, I'd like to remind you can download the project files of this project and all other thousands of projects that I have done in my channel once you become a member in the Patreon page. So feel free to check it out. I'll leave the link in description below. And let's get back to today's tutorial. Okay, so as always, let's start with a new project, and I'll choose third-person template so that I will have a character to test the material. Alright, so here is the map. Now I don't want to play this. I only need some mesh for me to test. So let me put the idle character here like this. I switched to the male character, not that it matters. Okay, now here is the character that I have. So we have two materials here, but I'm going to create a new material because we need a holographic type of a material. So materials, then I'll create M hologram. Right, now here I do need a base color. For that, let me use this, and then I'll convert this to a parameter, base texture. And since this is going to be a hologram, I'll convert this to translucent and shading model to unlit. Then for the emissive color, I'll connect this base texture and apply. Also let me promote this opacity to a variable, then let's say 0.5. yeah, also I multiply this with some color, like parameter, I'll call it color. So I'll use something like this blue because that looks like a hologram to me, this blue. Alright, now if I apply this, and here where is it, I'll create two material instances, mi many 1, and duplicate this mi many 2. Now here first material is fine for the many 1, but for many 2, let me override this material. So instead of this, I'm going to use this, so that right now here, instead of these two materials, I'm going to use this my holographic mani 1 and holographic mani 2. Alright, now we're not done yet, not nearly done yet. Now the next part is getting rid of this rendering these inner faces. So here, if I look at this character here, I can see the hand, the right hand also through this character. I need to prevent that. I need to prevent those inside faces rendering. So for that, we can actually use this simple trick. So here we can get custom depth using scene texture. Here, custom depth. So if I mask the R channel, and then if I directly, let me just demonstrate this. So if I just put it here, you see we get bright white. Wait, before that we have to actually enable custom depth. Allow custom depth rights. Let me apply this here. Now here it's full bright, but I don't think I have custom depth yet. Here we can go to buffer visualization and custom depth. You can see there is no custom depth. So for the object also we need to enable custom depth, render custom depth pass. See, now we get some color here. That's because now I am rendering to custom depth. Okay, now we can use that, but still it's full bright. We can also use pixel depth. Let me demonstrate that too. So this is also becomes full white. Well, actually there is a difference. I get white because once the value is larger than 1, it becomes white, that's why, and then it becomes emissive. But if I go closer, it becomes, there is actually a gradient. So if I subtract the custom depth, the pixel depth from the custom depth and put it here, still you don't see much of a difference. Let me connect this back, and instead of directly connecting the opacity, let me multiply the opacity value that I have here and use like this for the opacity. And if I apply, now you see it's still, now I don't have much of opacity at all. Oh, didn't I enable this? Right, so it's now fully transparent. So, but here if I add some offset to this, let me promote this to parameter. I'll call it depth offset and add some value like 0.1 and apply. See, now we do get some we actually now have transparency and we don't see these inner faces rendering. Nice. Now if I increase the luminosity of this, I should get a better rendering. Yeah, see, now we have the transparency and we don't have this inside faces rendering, so we have a clear picture. All right, great. Now we have the basic. The next step is, let's make it look more like a holographic material. So the first thing I would try is I want to hide this, fade out this lower part so it looks more like a hologram. So for that here I'll get the absolute world position, and from this I can access only Z, and then subtract the, so this is the world position of the pixel, then I'll subtract object position also in the world space. Here I need to mask, let's do a component mask P because we only need the vertical position. Then if I subtract this and if I multiply this, multiply it like this, but before that I need to clamp, otherwise we would get problems. Clamp this between 0 and 1 and multiply whatever the value we get here. So here now you see we only get the upper half. That's actually the object position is the middle of the object. From upward we see the character. Below the object position, all the points below the object position are invisible. So now I, instead of making directly invisible, what I want to do is make it fade. So for this let's add some value. I'll promote this to a variable. I'll call it fade distance. Let's try something like 70 because usually the character height is 90 and we need a smooth transition. So let's divide this by this same value and put it here and apply. See, now you get the fading effect. You don't see the foot, you only see the upper part. Great. Okay, now I need to have something like a horizontal stripes so that it looks more like a hologram. So for that let me add a comment here, fade, bottom fade, and this is interface calling. Okay, so for the stripes again I'll get world position, and so vertically I need the I need horizontal lines, so therefore I need to consider vertical position. So from here I'll get f mod value, then I'll promote this to a variable. I'll call this, what should I call it, stripe width, let's see, something like 1, and then if I put this into a if, then if the f mod value is larger than half of this value, I'll make it have a different transparency. For the other one I'll make it have another level of transparency. You'll understand what I mean. So first let me divide this by 2 and this goes as the b value. So if a is larger than b, here I'll promote this to another variable. No, a constant. Oh, let's say I'll make it I don't know, 0.6. Otherwise another constant, let's think 1. Then here I'll use this. Alright, now I'll add the result to this. Maybe we should add, maybe we should multiply. Let's see what works. Don't see. Well, I do see. Now I have some stripes on the character, but I think we should fine tune values. So maybe here, what if I make it 0.2? Alright, actually this values works better. So what I did is I reduced this one to 0.4 and this one to 0.1. Alright, this looks better. Now let's also add a movement to these stripes. So for that we can add some change to this using time. Now if I connect time, now you will see, it's not visible here, but it should be visible here. See, now it's moving down slowly. The stripes are moving down slowly, which gives some liveliness. So if I, okay, that's better, but also we need some more variation here. Alright, now let's try adding some noise. Texture sample here. Do we have any noise? Yeah, we have some noise textures with the engine. So let's use this, and I'll multiply this output with this noise. Should I multiply or add? Let's see what works. And also we don't see much of a difference because our noise is static. So maybe a smaller noise. Let's give some movement just like here. How? Let's get texture coordinate and add time to the UV. Actually this texture may not work. Okay, this is good, but it's too fast. So we can multiply this time with let's promote this to a parameter. I'll call it speed, and let's make it something like 0.2. Okay, that's better, but maybe we should increase the scale of the texture as well. So apply texture tiling at 0. Let's try something like 0.1. don't see the difference. Okay, I think I like these values. This is 0.1 and this is 1. So now we do see some more variations across the body, and also we have the transparency and the downward movement on the stripes. So yeah, I think this is good. Okay, also let's try adding some Fresnel effect here. Fresnel, and multiply this value. Right. Yeah, so now you see this inner parts becomes a bit darker and outside becomes a bit brighter. So maybe we can reduce this. So yeah, I think this is better. But now the total brightness is reduced, so to compensate for that we might increase this. Yeah, right, this looks good. Okay, so here is our final holographic material. And we can stop this episode right here. So thanks for watching. As always, project files will be available here for the download in Patreon page. Link would be in the description below. And see you in another episode. Goodbye.